Hello, my Taino-Viking warriors. How are we doing? All right, September 11th. It's Thursday. I'm flying back to the States. But it's not all fun and games. Because as soon as I get back to the States, I got to get in my truck. My wife's picking me up. And we're driving all the way to Orlando, to the airport in Orlando. Then we're going to get on a plane. And we're going to fly to Kansas. We're taking the red eye to Kansas. And then another 2-hour drive after we get there. And then we're going to spend the whole weekend working on our house in Kansas to get it back up into shape. You'll sit there and see it. I got some before photos, videos, and everything from when my wife was there this last summer. So it's a working weekend. You'll have a good one. All right, so real quick, let me tell you what you're about to see. You're about to see some pretty awful pictures. These are from when my wife and her son went to the house a couple years ago, and we had people moving out, and then we ended up getting squatters in the house, and I mean they just totally trashed the house. I mean it was full of just trash. Her and her son, they cleaned it out. They got a 20-foot open top roll off, cleaned all that stuff out, as best as they could. And then this last summer, my wife and our daughter went back to Kansas, and lo and behold, there was more squatters. Granted, it wasn't nearly as bad as it was the first time, but I mean, there's still squatters and they're still destroying the house. So she cleaned out that, and then we just recently came back from working there the weekend of September 11th. And we ended up getting another open top roll off. That was 20 yards. We gutted some rooms, took some drywall out, got rid of the rest of the trash, did some cleaning, put some paint up and everything, and now we're just getting ready to sell the house. So here's the videos and the pictures. So like I said, beware, you're about to see some really awful photos.
Here we go. Episodes of Shithouse. Looks like we got squatters again, but they didn't make near as much of a mess. Kitchen. I got that window open. I assume that's where they're coming through. We're going to screw all those shut. And here looks like is where they were throwing their fucking trash and their dookie. Thank you very much for dookie. I think they're coming in and out that window too. Bathroom. This is the bathroom. I'm not going in there because it's scary. Here is another bedroom. We'll make sure these are secure also. So, living room. All right, so here is the living room area. I'm gonna come into the middle. Definitely needing work. Walls. Floors are super gross, but it's a coat closet. I'll clean that up here in just a second. Kitchen. or dining room, I guess. These are the floors, walls. Here's the kitchen. Fridge is going in the dumpster. This is the door to the basement. I didn't go down there. Floors, yeah. Got a deck back there. Dad's working on the yard. Small bathroom up here. Definitely gonna need gutting. This is the master, or the largest bedroom up here. Again, kind of floors pretty ick. Got a little closet. Also pretty ick. Here's the smaller of the bedrooms. Pretty, all the same. The floors are kind of built, but not bad. Not bad. Power, so.
All right, here we go, Taino-Vikings. We are at the poop house here in Kansas. As we're getting all dressed up, getting Tyvek on. Gonna put our masks on. I'll have my body cam on. So here we go. Pray for us. This next part is a compilation of different videos that I took throughout the weekend. This is from September 12th, 13th, and 14th of 2025. My wife and I came in and finished cleaning up the place. Removed cabinets, drywall, cleaned up the basement. We filled an entire 20 cubic, actually it was a 30 cubic yard, yeah. It was a tall one. It was a 30 cubic yard open top roll off. So yeah, it was a bunch of trash. And you'll see a refrigerator in this video. When that went into the open top and it opened up, the smell that came out of it, it was still full of food. It was so gross. It almost made me gag. So, you know, watch the videos, you know, at the very end, it'll look, the front rooms and stuff will look a lot different. So this is what we did. Welcome back, my Taino-Viking warriors. Well, coming to the end of this video, you're probably asking yourself, why did the video stop there? There was so much grossness that we didn't get to see. Well, here's the deal. So, both my batteries died. One died really quick, didn't even get much on it. The other one, it died within 30 minutes. But I had my charger for some reason. The charger port for it to hook the cable up, it busted and broke inside of it. And I was without one. So I couldn't charge my batteries. But I went ahead and bought a new charging station for the batteries, and it came with 3 more batteries. So I will have 5 batteries for those 2 cameras, and then I've got this camera here. So I will be able to record more videos with more angles and stuff like that. I've got my wife and I, we've got a competition coming up this weekend. I'm about to leave the Bahamas again, go back to Florida for a competition that we're going to do. I'll catch up on all these videos, trust me. I know I'm still working on early September. Like this evening, I'm editing the video for this house, but this evening I'm going to post my September 11th, but it's October 1st. So, I mean, I'm a little bit behind. I know. I've been really busy with work and everything. We had to do some hurricane prep down here because, you know, the Mother Nature wanted to give us a little scare. So what do? After that, we worked 2 more days. We finally got that refrigerator out. Unfortunately, when we pushed it down the stairs of the deck that we have on the back of the house, it opened up, and oh my goodness, I was like, it was so gross. So we got that out. We got that over into that roll-off. You saw at the very last clips, you saw us taking sheetrock down from downstairs. We got all the sheetrock off. We cleaned up the floors upstairs, put kills all over it, cleaned the walls, put kills on it. Worked downstairs, put kills on the downstairs area also. That way, no future mold and everything will grow. We cleaned up all the mold. You know, we had a good bleach water, sprayed bleach water, cleaned it all up, and then we went back and then we killed it, put kills on it so we wouldn't grow anymore. Now we got a few more things we got to do. Got to get the yard cleaned up, and then we're gonna sell that house. You know, it's just too much for us to try and take on right now. That house is in Kansas. We're in Florida. So much hard to do. Well, I'm in Florida sometimes. She's in Florida all the time. I'm in the Bahamas. So, I mean, you see where we're going at? So we're going to get rid of that house. And we'll start looking at maybe a condo or something in Florida, you know, to rent out as a Airbnb. You know, we got our house there in Port St. Lucie. You know, we're going to look on the coast area. You know, we'll see what we got. Thank you for tuning in and understanding, you know, that, hey, things happen. You know, I'm going to still put out the video even though I didn't get everything I wanted to get. So, have a great time, Taino-Viking warriors, and wish us luck in the competition. Wait till you see the video. We're also going to be selling stuff at our booth at that one. So, I think I might do my very first live video. Stay tuned. We'll find out, all right? Talk to you later.